Hey guys, so um, it's shocking to me. It's absolutely shocking how fast everything seems to be going tits up. From an entertainment, sitting at your home and paying for some type of electronic how quickly it all seems to be dying. Now, I'm no expert in video games. Okay, I'm no expert in video games. But it seems like the newest thing will probably be broken to all fuck, be crap, be full of microtransactions and loot boxes, right? And it will just be crap. Now, I remember, okay, so I would say the last video game that I played was Mass Effect 2. Okay? So I decided to play a game, which only happens like once every 10 years. And I went to the internet. What is the best game for PC? Because I don't have a console, of course, because I don't play video games. And I read the list, everybody's top 10. And at the time, it was Mass Effect 2. So when was that? Mass Effect 2. Twenty 10, 2011. Okay, so 2010. So everybody at that time, so it's been 10 years. And by the way, just for the record, I'm not itching to pick up a video game anytime soon. So it might be 12 years or maybe never. I don't know. This time around. But so really that's interesting. 10 years ago, I said, "What is the best game in the world?" And the world told me that it was Mass Effect 2. So I started playing the game, and it was so good that I stopped a couple of hours into it. I went back to the first one, played that, and then played this. Now, I had exhausted all my video game playing, all of it. What microscopic small amount of video game playing I had in me got completely drained with playing 2 video games from start to finish. Now, when I play a video game, I am shittier than shitty shit. Okay? I am not a video game player, so I am terrible. So if these games were actually too difficult, or they didn't let you get to the end by just a little bit of improvements, in other words, there was no easy mode, then I would have quit the games and said goodbye to them. Because I'm that bad at everything, video game. Because I just don't care. But nonetheless, I loved Mass Effect 2 so much that I stopped playing it a couple of hours into it and picked up Mass Effect 1, played it all the way through, and then transferred my character over, which, by the way, didn't do nothing, because I don't advance. Now, I will do, like, I'm not a completionist or anything. I try to be, but I have no idea if I'm doing it all. I try to get all the things done, but I don't know if I got them all done. I have no clue. And sometimes I get impatient and just want to progress. But these two video games were fucking amazing, right? But I was done. So when Mass Effect 3 came around, I just watched somebody on YouTube play it. I watched a Let's Play of Mass Effect 3 because I was all gamed out. So when Mass Effect Andromeda came to Earth, right? And it was an absolute motherfucking goddamn shit show. It was a shitty shit show, right? It was broken all over the place. It looked like crap. Now, I don't know about all the details. I'm no expert when it comes time to video games. But there was one spot where you walked up to a character, the character turned to you and started talking, and it was like, ba 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 ba, I'm a transsexual, ba 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 ba. The transsexual, like, has nothing to do with nothing. But they have to announce it, they have to fucking rub it in your face, otherwise you would not know it exists. Because when you walk up to, when a trans person is getting groceries and then they get to the counter, as they are getting their groceries scanned through, they say to the cashier, these are all the groceries that I bought, and by the way, I'm a transsexual. How was your day today? It's nice and sunny outside, and you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy, stupid, insane. And like I said, they have to do it. They have to do, like, gay people, in order for you to know that they're gay, for sure. Like, they could just flutter around, like, or they could look away or act away. But no, they want you to know 100%. So they have to, like, do some butt sex or some man-on-man kissing, or literally just come out and say it. Right? But I thought, like, this is just kind of a sign of the times, right? These SJW tarded, you know, insane, wacky types, got their college diploma. So they did, I guess, maybe making computer games, making video games course, but with the side of SJW. I'm going to take a gender studies class because I want to be a stupid video game maker. But I mean, whatever the fuck it is, right? It's like, why is everything sucking? Or maybe I'm just not seeing life as it is. But when I listen to people talk, again, get this inside of your head. I do not play video games. My knowledge and experience is almost zero, which is why I wanted a YouTube channel that would cover the sort of basics. And there is a lot of channels. I can't listen to the lefties. It's just something about me that I just can't. I'm not going to do it. Like, I listen to enough of that side of the political spectrum to, I listen to it enough. I got a little bit to just keep me in tune with, how their brain is working and what they're saying and what, topics they're covering and stuff. But I just can't do it to any great degree. So if I'm looking for a video game information, and by the way, with this whole Gamergate thing, right? If I'm looking for game information, I want it from a reliable source and just accurate. I don't play this stuff. I don't need your hot take on if there was too much cleavage, or the girl's butt were more prominent than the guy's butts. I mean, since the beginning of time, even when when women weren't in plays and stuff back in Shakespearean times, the men were, and the men played women, female roles, and I'm sure there was all sorts of oinky boinky, right? On stage, fake oinky boinky. But I mean, if you think about the earliest action films, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Vin Diesel, now it's The Rock. Don't talk to me about, you know, now it's what's that Aquaman guy? Henry Cavill is Superman. But the girls are saying that, you can't show too much. All of those people I just mentioned, they're fucking like the newest Morbius trailer, right? What's his name? Whatever. The one that played the Joker, Jared Leto. He's playing Morbius now, I guess. And one of the shots in the trailer was of him with his shirt off, and all of his muscles and were all super defined, and you could see all the muscles, and the shirt was up, and then the pants are hanging down, so you can kind of see the part of the torso meeting the hips that point down to the dick. People think and it is sexy, to be honest. I ain't got any of that anymore. I'm too fat. But that is kind of, like, that is a man who is being exploited for his appearance. But yet, the Gamergate was like, at least Anita Sarkeesian, I remember listening to. She was complaining about, women being objectified. And I'm like, men have been objectified in everything forever. There's always been the He-Man, or the Hercules, or the Tarzan. Men alongside, Gina Davis being super sexy and whatever. You also had Marlon Brando when he was a kid, he was super sexy. Don't think of him at the end of his life, but at the beginning of his life, he was super mega hot. James Dean, Brad Pitt, his first real big film, he was like a cowboy little hustler. His shirt off in that part, having sex with Gina Davis. He was the one being objectified. How about Magic Mike? Like none of what comes out of the left's mouth makes any sense, right? It's just meant to confuse, just put you in a permanent state of stupid. But if you could, like in, for example, Mass Effect Andromeda, if you could just take out, like it's one scene of somebody being overtly trans, like you could put that aside. Now, I don't know how much else is going on in there. I don't. Because I didn't even bother to watch it. But when it came out and people were making fun of how bad it was, I was watching those review videos and those clip videos, and it was just so bad all the way through. Everything about it was bad. You just spent 50, maybe $80 on it, whatever it was, I don't know, on the newest Mass Effect game, and it was an absolute turd. And it's not the only one, right? It's not the only one. What about all of the other um, video games? Anthem, Fallout 76. And this is just from knowledge I have acquired from YouTube channels. Just to let you know, the people that I get my video game information from now, it used to be the Quartering, but he's too, I think he's kind of fake. So I don't get my stuff from him anymore. Like he will, like, he's covering exactly what I wanted to hear, but I remember in one video he would say, like, he would be talking about the makeup channels, and then he was shitting on them because they just want to sell really expensive makeup to their customers, to their people, to their viewers, right? They're just there to sell overpriced makeup kits, color palettes, or whatever to Joe Schmo, to their viewers. And then in the next video, he's going to be selling his overpriced ball manicuring products, which is basically just a super cheap electric trimmer, some disposable razors, and some baby wipes, and some talcum powder, which you could probably buy all four of those things and put it in a kit, send it off to somebody for, like, I don't know, the cost of $10. I don't know how much you charge the other person, but it was like $75, down from 125. $125 for a disposable razor, a super cheap electric trimmer, some baby wipes with more man-scented, and talcum powder, probably more man-scented. So he's, and really, what is that? That is makeup. Makeup for your balls. So he, like, that sort of thing really drives me bananas. But anyway, I still wanted some video game news. Anyway, it's heel versus babyface and an Asian guy. Heel versus babyface and some Asian guy. Oh, him. There you go. Heel versus babyface. He's also pretty fucking funny. He's a big fat guy that, kind of lives alone at home or whatever. But, there's, I don't know. There's a couple of really big fat people that I know kind of use the internet to connect and get out of the house when they don't actually get out of the house, or at least not enough. And I think this is one of the parts of the internet that I think is really good that people don't talk about. For a lot of people who, for whatever reasons, have sort of cut themselves off and isolated themselves, this is a very therapeutic outlet, right? And you get, hey, let's be honest, I kind of fit in this category too. But yeah, people who really don't have a whole lot and that just kind of maybe, obviously with their size, they're not doing so good on their own. But the internet and their the people out there in internet world, that's their sort of window and their connection. They're staying connected, and then when you see them just laughy and smiley and just having a great old time, it can be a good thing. I would say it's no substitute, but so heel versus babyface and some Asian guy. Come on. What is he not making videos? Anyway, I don't know what this Asian guy's politics are. And here's the thing: I bet you they're wrong. I bet you he's a lefty, like everyone else, but he doesn't talk about it. Normally, his thumbnails have a very right here, that guy, Yang Yi. I don't know. I think it's Yang Yi. So I just started listening to him not too long ago, and again, I don't know what his politics are. I think he might be a lefty, but that's fine with me. You're talking video games. Just stick to the facts. You don't have to be politically. That's how you do it. It's just like when you're um, serving, you know, serving your customers at the restaurant or the fast food restaurant, right? You don't have to inject politics into your job. Sometimes you can just make and serve burgers and then take their money and then say, have a nice day. And you can ignore the I'm with her hat or ignore the Make America Great Again hat. You can ignore it and just do your job. Now, I'm going to say that it's getting harder because, for example, like when you have a video game where a character comes out and starts talking and then says, I'm transsexual, and then continues to talking for no reason whatsoever. No reason whatsoever. No reason whatsoever. You know that if you have a brain, you know that this is identity politics and it was injected here at this time for political reasons. So I do think that you have to address it. But you would just, like, if you didn't want to get political, just be neutral about it. Just say, wow, that seemed out of place. Like, and you could even address both sides. You could say, well, if you are pro-identity politics, that was a really poor way of doing it. It seemed like a really shoehorned in way of doing your identity politics. And if you are against identity politics, well, tough. You were just subjected to it. This is an example of how badly it can be done. And your movies, as they get more and more, we'll get to the movies soon, starting with video games and television and all of the other pieces of entertainment. This stream is called the Death of Entertainment. Now, that the camera over there, that is the window. Sometimes there's a cat in it. I think my cat, at least one of them, wants back in. Um, I quit smoking about, I don't know, close to a year ago. And I don't know. I'm still not over it yet. I got pretty bad. So it's going to take quite a while to get over that. But anyway, that's why I keep coughing and stuff. But anyway, so um, now I'm not going to say that video game is all dead, but I am going to say that video game is dead, and here's why. You cannot buy video games when they first come out. That's the new rule. Now, for those who do pre-order or something, anything that remotely revolves around buying it super fast. Some people are pre-ordering these things. I don't know how, like, or buying it on day one, or first in the first month, whatever. The amount of shit, the absolute mountain of shit that you are receiving on day one is going to turn more, and I don't understand why anybody ever does it. Now maybe, again, I'm a dumbass. Me equals stupid on this topic. I don't play video games. The last video game I played was 10 years ago. Like this, when a video game comes out, it's shit. It comes out, it's shit. You have to wait months and months and months for it to be fixed. Okay? That's a huge problem. That is telling all the people everywhere, right, to stop buying video games in the beginning. And what does that do for the video game industry? When you cannot buy the new game because it will be broken. What is going on? And then you have to hope that enough other people were stupid like you. You have to cross your fingers and hope that other people were as dumb as you and also bought it super early while it was still in its broken state, so that you have paid the company enough money that they will fix it. Because if it has a failure of a beginning, they'll just, let it die. Let it go away. Let it go away. Let it die. And so you are left with a shitty game that is broken. One or the other or both. So you literally, not only do you have to buy it day one or before day one, but you have to, lots of other people have to do it. Otherwise, you guys won't even get a game. Now, I don't know what's happening behind, are they not paying enough? Is the industry switching too much? Is it like television and movies, where in the heyday, they were getting big, and they were expanding too much. They expanded too much. They expanded far too much. just like the rest of the entertainment industry. And there ain't enough money to do nothing anymore. Because they stretch themselves too thin. And they've had to hire people that weren't really qualified. And weren't really ready to make good video games. They had to hire Joe Schmo instead of, like somebody who went to school, and did really well in school. Because they expanded too much, too quick, too fast, too whatever. Because of all the money, money, money. I don't know. I don't know what's happening to video games. But every time I turn on my face to the news, it seems to be shit show after shit show after shit show. And that's just, the broken, right? The shit show of launches. There's many other problems with the video game industry. What about the fact that video games are turning into freaking casinos? Video games are turning into casinos. Well, that's just, yeah, and then they have all the bullshit yippity yap around that. Loot boxes and all the rest, right? So you got some people that just don't fucking care about money. They don't fucking care. And they will just give you all their fucking money, the video game companies. So what can we offer those people? Well, cheats in the game. Cosmetic, extra cheats. Really, it's just they get to level up without having to do the work. Different things like that. I have no problem taking companies taking people's money, but if it's just a weird thing, right? Video games seem to be built on trying to push you towards buying stuff, push you towards buying more, buying more. It's either that you either buy, and it's all about time, right? You can they make it so that you could play the game for a week and grind, 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 or you can just buy this upgrade. And people are doing it. People are doing it in spades. Lots of people on their mobile phones are hitting buy, 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 buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy the new this, buy this, buy that. So what does that turn that video game into? Well, if it's just an individual single player idea, concept, well, nothing. They're just cheating themselves. They're just fast forwarding through the game, or they're leveling up on their own. But once you start playing in an arena with other players, and then it starts to look like cheats, and then it's like, well, if you don't cheat, then you're going to be left behind. If you don't cheat, you're going to be left behind. And then what does that, it's like, now some people are going to say, well, it was free to play, you could just play some. Okay, I'm just talking about the state of things. Once upon a time, you bought a game cartridge, Atari, back in my day, you would buy, a permanently guaranteed 100%, unless there was a huge problem, 100% game, perfectly finished, no DLCs, no ways to beg you for more money. Well, I guess you could buy magazines or posters or something about the game, but no, inside the video game, I guess maybe you could buy you could buy maybe cheat codes, or I guess there was other ways of getting the extra money out of you, but it was very minimal. You could buy cheat magazines that teach you how to play the game, or where all the special items are, or something. I suppose you could, I think that for Nintendo they called it Nintendo Power. I've never seen one of those magazines, only on AVGN episodes. But yeah, it's oh, look at that. One of my guys, Corbett. Saying the Afghanistan war is over. It's time to bring the boys home. Bring them all home. Fuck the Middle East. How many more decades are you going to waste all your time and money and everything over there? But Israel, our bestest buddy, is over there. We can't just abandon them. So is that it? America is just going to, plunge all of its resources into wars in the Middle East to keep Israel a thing? Isn't that an Israel first policy? Those darn Nazis just keep talking about, keep bringing that up. That's Nazi talking points. Anyway, I digress. We're talking about the entertainment industry. I don't understand. Video games seems to be an absolute shit show. And then you have different places. What are you going to do? The Nintendo, the Sony, or the Microsoft? Right? Or the PC, which I guess is... Well, no, it's a different Microsoft. Right? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Are you going to buy all the consoles? Just going to stick to one? But I'm telling you, it just seems to be a fucking shit show. And, like I said, it's good that... See, this is why I wanted to... It's interesting to keep abreast of what's happening in the video gaming industry. But... and it seems like it's a shit show. I don't know what's going on over there. See, the money over there and the number of people over there seems to be going up. But the quality and the direction seems to be going into the toilet. And I would say that my stupid brain, when I look at video games, I see broken, and just every which way from Sunday to get more money out of you. I see video games now being money pigs, or like freaking money suckers. Like they're casinos. It's like you may as well just go onto a casino website and give it your money and then keep pushing buttons and hope that they start to match after a while. Video games are turning into casinos. And like back in my day, like the only video game, like I said, I told you that I liked Mass Effect. But I didn't you know, like it didn't turn me into a video game player. I've the time before that, I played Doom 3, which I couldn't finish, by the way. I really wanted to play that game, but it scared me too much. I'm a wimp when it comes time to horror games. Remember how PewDiePie became famous by scaring himself with these video games? I would put that like that would be a mild day for me playing a video game. Horror video games I can't play because they're just too. The jump scares, I kept breaking the computer. And I'm not kidding. So I can't do it. And I'm too. I think I'm pretty sure I'm too old and unhealthy now to go down that road. And can you see my cat? Yeah, there you go. That's my cat's perch. That's why I put that thing there so the cat could get up on it and look out. Anyway, so the video games that I played was the Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2, and then Half-Life, System Shock 2, Doom 3. Half-Life I finished. The other Doom 3, I kept trying. I could only get past the first couple of jump scares, and then I turned it off. So I would start again. I only played the first, 3 minutes of the video game, 50 times, and then I said, okay, I'm done. I couldn't progress, because the jump scares would freak me out, and I'd break the computer. So I had to throw in the towel. And Homeworld, Annihilation, Space Bunnies Must Die, but again, I didn't finish that one. It was a really broken game that I didn't understand. And then seriously, we're into arcade machines. I think that's every video game I've ever played. And most of those I didn't even finish. Oh, Blair Witch. I tried playing that video game, but again, it freaked me out and I quit. So yeah, I have done it, but I don't do it much. Once in a while, I decide to, hey, why don't I try that again? I got some free time. I want to see how video games have advanced over the last decade. And then I, give it my quarters. And I have a good time. But I think that's it. I think it's over. By the way, you got to think, the video games that I played are the best of the best, right? Why wouldn't I? Mass Effect, Homeworld. Homeworld was a Sierra game. They've been out of business for a long time. Half-Life. Now, so the video games industry, I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. I think that they're just gonna fight with the customer. That big fat guy with the long gray hair that came out, and he was talking to the crowd after that Hong Kong thing, and he gave his politically correct, pre-written, pre-approved speech. That, to me, is the death of the video game industry. All of these video gamers, he looks like a big, fat, gross, disgusting slob that should be in his basement, fucking greasing out over making it, fucking playing and making video games. But, he was doing that, and then it just grew, and now he's a corporate, he's a big, fat, showered, corporate video game talking head. With no soul. The pay's good, I guess. But they have no fucking clue on how to make a good game. One that actually pleases their customer. Well, see, honestly, I am saying that. A good video game comes out, but 2 bad ones come out. When a good one comes out, 2 or 3 bad ones come out. And then, 5 or 10 frickin' video games designed to just extract money out of your wallet come out. Free to play, and now you just entered the casino. It's like the casino, right? The casino, it's free to walk in. They don't charge admission, but now they gotcha. Now give us your money, give us your money, give us your money, give us your money, give us your money. Now, I'm a freedom guy. I am very much a freedom guy. So I don't care if you're a fully functional adult and you are being talked into giving somebody else your money. I don't care if, you are spending all of your money on fucking video game slot machines. But when it comes time to kids, we have to have a chat. And that's the problem. But also, all of this, spend money, spend money, spend money, spend money on these stupid fucking video games. Which, like, I see people use their mouth to excuse the give money, give money, give money, give money to this fucking, let's just say, a basketball video game. How long does, after you give that fucking video game, say $5, how long are you happy for? See, people need to wake up. Video games have turned into fucking casinos. How long are you happy, happy, happy? How long does that smile on your face last? 1 day? At 1 hour? And then you're just playing the miserable video game again until you give it some more money, and then you have a happy face for X amount of time. And if you give it $100, maybe you have a happy face for a week. But after the week, you got a sad face again. So you just keep playing it, playing it, playing it. Well, maybe if I just give it another $100, I'll be happy again. Because it will progress me. You don't think that these fucking video game people know this? Of course they know it. They know exactly what they're doing. These video games are money suckers. And, like, it's okay to separate an idiot from their money. Sure. You want to go bankrupt giving the video game company all your money? Go right ahead. With kids, we have to have a conversation about that. But I mean, you're the dumbass. And all of that happy, like I said, it's all very temporary. And it's designed to be. Yes, you are there. You give them money, you're going to get a smile on your face. However, that smile is going to go away until you give them more money. The high that you got from whatever it is that you purchase is going to wear off. It's just like the girls out shopping. The girls out shopping. They just can't shop enough. It's just like gimme, 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 gimme. And all those things put a smile on their face for a little while. But then the stores are going to be open a week from now for them to go do it again. And then before you know it, they got 100 pairs of shoes and more clothes than they could ever wear. Half of their closet still has the tags on it. They have electrical appliance in the kitchen that nobody, that they never use. Just so much just sits around in the house and collects dust. Just they buy a bunch of stuff to become dust collectors. And then if you add in video games for girls, oh my goodness. But that's, and that's a shitty way, like I said, all video games have always wanted more money from you. I remember, like the arcade, right? The reason why the game got progressively more difficult wasn't for the customer, it was to beat the customer, so that they would have to slow down playing it and give it more money, or let the next person play, right? They wanted you to be finished with the game. But they said, well, we got to make it possible, but we can make it extremely difficult. And some, extreme difficulty went up real fast. It's like pinball machines. They went from 5 balls and 2 games to 1 game and 3 balls. Yes, I'm old enough to remember pinball machines. I saw the beginning of all this stuff. That's the benefit of being old. They've always but there's something super extra sneaky about. It's just the more covert, the more hidden, the more sneaky, the more psychological these video games are. It's like, oh, here's a loot box. You might win a prize, or buy this to advance that, and so you can beat this and so on. It just seems to be designed. Everything is, how can we make, it's just money grabbers. There was an honesty to putting a quarter in a machine, and yes, it progressively got more difficult, but, by the way, Super Pac-Man, the video game, Super Pac-Man, not any of the others. Super Pac-Man I could play forever. I would be able to play, that's how good I got at that video game. Well, I was really good. I really liked Pac-Man games, but they would just get progressively too difficult. They just got impossible, really. Now, the super mega video game experts of today can get to the end of these video games, but I can't. I couldn't. Like, that's on a different level. That's world class. I'm talking about small town champion, not fucking world champion, right? But yeah, I could play Super Pac-Man. I don't know if you know that video game. Super Pac-Man I could play forever and never lose a life. Lose a one-up, a man. I used to call it a man, by the way. Lose a man. You got 3 men when you started playing the video game, I called them men. I'm sure that somebody's going to go out there and say, oh my god, that's so sexist. Even if it was like an ape, or a spaceship, I would still call it a man. Or even if it was like a worm, or whatever. Even if it was a female, I would still call it a man. Just because that was free men. Hey, you want a free man? Or you got three men. Now, for pinball, I would say balls. 3 balls, 5 balls, multi-ball. But for, lives in the video games, I said men. I don't know if you did. What did you say? Tell me down in the comments. Okay, so video games are crap in my opinion. I don't know what the end game is between them being, and there's probably a huge long list of other problems with the video game industry. But those are the 2 big ones that I hear people talking about the most. And oh my god, like buying a broken game because, see, do you remember, now they're doing it with movies. Because all movie distribution is you put the video file onto this special computer, and then that computer shoots it out to all the theaters over the internet. Probably a special internet, tons of security, and it's odd, strange, right? But still, that's how it's being done. And so there isn't, like in the old days, they literally had to take the movie, take it to the distributor, and the distributor had to make copies of it. And it was the big film, celluloid film on the big reels. And then it would be shipped out to all the theaters. So there's no way that you could change something. There's no way you could change something. It would be impossible. The whole process takes a month. Now, I don't know what happened to all those film reels, but whatever. I'm just saying, distribution companies, I don't really know why they exist now. Like I said, yeah, sure, there's a central computer thing, and then you move the video file to that, and then the theaters download it, and then project it in their theaters. But that's a very different ball game than having to, actually have a manufacturing facility, copy the films, and then send out all the films all around the world, and make sure that it's super secure and nobody steals the film, because these things are worth a fucking infinite number of money. I'm exaggerating. A big cashola, right? And then they had a projectionist. Now it's just a bunch of computers, right? But because of that, they're getting lazy. It's like, oh, well, we could literally just wait until a day before the film needs to be done to finish it. It's just like anything else, procrastination. Now they're actually changing movies while they're still in theaters. Cats. Avengers Endgame added a deleted scene just to get to make more money than Avatar. I think it made like a couple extra $1 million to push it over the Avatar. And Cats was changed. So yeah, that's a thing now. DLC for movies at the movie theater. Okay, so let's switch. My expertise is not video games, but I wanted to touch on it because the death of video games seems real. It seems like the video game industry is a shit show. An absolute fucking goddamn shit show. And identity politics moving into it is just kind of adding insult to injury. Now let's just talk about the comic book industry, right? Again, I don't do comics. I'm going to say this again. I do not do comics. I am a zero when it comes time to comic book expertise. Well, maybe I'm a 1 out of 100, okay? But I know how to read numbers, okay? I know what a fucking number is. And when I look at something like, okay, let's just go back to, I don't know, let's just do February of 1994. Is that 144,000? I don't know what order index means. What I'm trying to say is this. I have seen some super, super mega high numbers. Now these are example numbers. I don't understand why these numbers are so low. I've seen numbers that were like, you would sell a comic book and it would sell hundreds of thousands of copies. Hundreds, like 500,000 copies. 500,000 copies. 500,000. 500,000. 500,000. The top comics. Okay, well, this is a little better. I don't know. Again, I'm no expert. But I mean, what year is this? 1996. So a particular month, Fantastic Four. Remember before Hollywood tore that fucking franchise to little tiny pieces? But 300,000, you know, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, you know? That's a lot of $100,000 books. Or 100,000 copies. 23 of them with 100,000 or more. 23 of them. 100,000 or more. And, you know, like, whatever you say about these numbers, whatever. They're saying that it's just shipped to comic book stores, and a lot of them get shipped back, and then they don't get... I don't know if that gets subtracted down the road or what. I have no idea. I don't know how it works. So you saw 23 books, comic books, with 100,000 or more. What do we got for the end of December? So this is Christmas. You would think that you're buying them for your kids. 2. 2. So what's going on with this? Well, people ain't buying them. You could say that maybe they're buying them digitally now instead. But isn't a comic book fan just like addicted to the touchy touch of the book? Don't they want it to manifest in real life so that they can collect it and then they can put it in a box in you know, storage and then sell it at a later date for a bunch of money? Isn't that the kind of idea. And does that even happen anymore? Like this thing right here, is that going to increase in 100 years from now? Is this going to be worth any money? And or is there just too many people that are doing this and buying up all? Maybe this is all just investors. They are all investors purchasing comics so that they can save them and sell them for a super biggity big amount of cashola later on. I don't know. I don't know. But I have seen comic book sales that were commonly, like anything under 100,000 would have been considered a disaster when comic books were at their peak. Now you could say, well, people just don't do whatever. I don't know. I'm a zero, like I'm a 1 out of 100. But I can see that the numbers are slipping and slipping and sliding and slipping and sliding. Now, it seems like a lot of blue-haired SJWs seem to be good at drawing, and then they're bringing their newfound, they're combining their talent of drawing with their stupidity of life and politics. They're combining the two to destroy comic books, just like all of the other entertainment. These people in the entertainment industry, they used to realize that the world hated them. You were not making families, you were divorcing all over the place, you were a slut, you were gay, you weren't contributing. Yeah, sure, okay, you had a little artistic flair here and there, so you ran over to the arty art section of town, like the hippie section of town, and, you all were poor and miserable together over there. But something happened where these people got bold. Not only are they stupid in the head with some artistic talent, but they were like, no, fuck you, we're right, you're the one that's wrong. Don't you hurt me, don't you, label me a boy or a girl. I'm gender fluid. I'm an attack helicopter. I'm a toaster. I identify as a toaster. Don't you abuse me with your hate speech pronouns, your hate pronouns. So these fucking retards that really should have just been in this little section of town being retarded together, and maybe 1 out of 100 times something out of the from these retards reaches the masses and it's good. But something happened to the point where, I don't know, maybe they just got too many of them. The colleges are just churning out too many of them. I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter. Socialism is the way to go. Me and my friends have been socialists for 12 minutes now, and it's been fantastic. So I think the world should turn into a socialist utopia, just like our it's 13 minutes now. 13-minute long socialist utopia. No, I don't use my brain very much. I just smoke pot and play the guitar. Yeah, that's what I do. I just smoke pot and play the guitar. And then have some butt sex. Um, so I don't know what happened. But, they're destroying the Democratic Party. So they, everywhere they go, it's just, once in a while they get lucky. But it's mostly just destruction. Um, we've seen these sort of hippie colonies, and they don't work. They don't last very long because it's all stupid. These commie little gatherings. We're all communists over here, and yeah, it looks like a dump, a garbage dump, but it's actually very stunning and brave. There is a place in America where they call it communist. It's not really. It's just like, we're going to go and LARP as a communist for a month, sometimes many months. But it's just LARPing. And it doesn't take anything seriously. They're just all stupid. Stupid hippies that think that they're living communism when they're not. It's like, anyway. Because they all make money in town at their jobs, right? And then they have to bring all of the resources, food and water and all of the resources to the commie colony, right? The communist group. Sargon of Akkad made a great video about it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Um, Communist Utopia. California. Communist park. I don't know. I'm not going to find it. I don't feel like looking for it right now. But anyway, it's like literally, it's a place for the commie hippies to go and live in filth and pretend that they're actual communists. And there is some tenants, there are some pieces, but the problem is the food and clothing and stuff, right? They have a job in town, or some people have jobs in towns, and they make money over there, and then they load up their vehicle and then drive to, commie filth park, which just looks like a big dump, a garbage dump. I forget what the name of it is, obviously. And, they LARP as communists. Oh, nobody was living in this, um, van, so I moved in and fixed it up, and now I live in it. Is it your van? Well, and and it's interesting to see how it strayed away from communism. Like, you had this one lady, she actually built a fence, and you're like, you're not really supposed to be doing that in commie utopia over there, right? You're not supposed to have fences because it's not your property. Why are you delineating your space from the next space? Well, probably because he was shooting up heroin and firing guns at all manner of the night, and you wanted to feel safe. I don't know, right? Anyways, it's all stupid. But all of this Antifa bullshit, but that's what the schools, that's what your government, this is why I'm a libertarian. Your government is teaching all these dumb, impressionable kids to be even dumber. It's all coming from your schools. This is what they want. Your government wants to churn out retard after retard after retard after retard. And then sterilize them, convince them to be tranny so they self-sterilize, and then convince all the girls to not have kids and be miserable, slutty when they're young, and then when they're old and nobody wants to screw them anymore, they can just cry into their frickin' wine and hope that, on their deathbed, somebody from that they used to work with 20 years ago comes to join them on their deathbed to send them on their way. Or maybe it'll be a nice nurse in the nursing home or the hospital will be kind enough to you can spend time with a stranger on your way out of this life. Um, um, sorry, I got thinking about my great aunt. Anyway, as she was passing away, I spent some time with her, and I just lost my train of thought thinking about my aunt who passed away. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think this is, I think that there is something about art that lends itself to stupid thinking. Jordan Peterson thinks that artists, like the artistic flair, does come from the lefty commie, and I don't agree. I don't agree. I can't agree. Um, I think these are just kind of do-nothing people that kind of want to be lazy and not work, and they just keep trying to be entertainers. People that don't want to fit into society, and then they just group up and they're like, well, we got to eat, so why don't we just try singing and dancing or something along those lines. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know exactly. But the singy, dancy people, um, they group up and then they just get all stupid together. But there's no doubt in my mind that I don't know how they got so commie, stupid lefty. And I don't see why that's necessary. Why can't you have a happy, healthy life and then be still really great at playing the piano? Well, they say classical piano. Yeah, that's the way it is. You don't have to be some blue-haired libtard to be in high art. It's just low art, which makes sense. So low art is full of your kind of dummy, blue-haired, multi-gendered retards, right? I don't know. I guess there's art for everybody. And by the way, that whoever, say the guy who fixes the plumbing, don't fucking tell me that he's not artistic. Don't tell me that, other things are not artistic. They absolutely are. I don't care. If you're an accountant, the way you shore up, you refine and you pretty up your spreadsheet, you bold and you highlight and you underline and then you put some color here and a graph over there and stuff like that. Don't tell me that that's not artistic. It's just like, pissing in a cup, um, with a photograph of your dad in the cup. Is not the only form of art. It's just that art gets, well known because people are gross, and this is like a train wreck of the thing. So people highlight it like it's big art, like it's really important. Whereas the guy who did his spreadsheet at work, and did a really good job, and it printed out really well, or a report or something like that, and and at last minute you flip through it and you go, wow, this looks really great. I don't know what it means, but looks really great. That's art. Why is that not art? And it's not just art, it's like art with a purpose. Everything is kind of artistic, right? The gardener. Are you going to say he's not an artist? Like, all you do is run around all day and mow lawns, mow the grass. That's art. You're in construction. That's art. Why is it not art? It's just, I think the stupid commie lefty hippie types, it's like, oh, no, only our stuff is art. Only when we paint with our vagina blood, that's art. When we uh, take a poop in our underwear and then take a photo of it, that's art. You know what I mean? It's just because, they're gross and disgusting, and like anything can be, like, I guess you can call that art if you want to. I scribbled on with crayons on this piece of paper, and then I put a frame on it. That's art. Okay. The right is just as artistic. When that guy is, looking at that kitchen going, how am I going to remodel this? Don't fucking tell me that the finished product is not art. I don't care how good or bad it is. Of course it's art. So, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, you know? But this comic book industry where I guess Wolverine is gay now and Spider-Man is bisexual. I guess in some of the comics he's even black. Um, and yeah, and some of these guys who are into comics, again, I'm not, are just, and the numbers speak for themselves. So video games are a shit show. They're kind of fighting with the customer. Comics are a shit show, and it seems like the only people left buying the things are people that are collectors or completionists or something, or just old guys. Are there any young people? I don't know. I don't know why they're doing this. Some of the um, things have proper numbers, and some don't. I don't know. Anyway, I'm done with the numbers over there. But what I'm saying is that the numbers have been going down. And, so the video game industry is turning itself into a casino. The comic book industry is, I don't know, the playground for blue hairs, danger-haired individuals. Um, like I said, in Hollywood, when things were degenerate, they kept a lid on their degeneracy. You know what I mean? they kept it away, but now they're flaunting their degeneracy like they're just it's the right thing to do. And the conservatives with their housewives and working dads and happy healthy children, like that's evil. It's so much better to like either abort your kids or not have them, and if you do have them, make sure you turn them into gender non-binary transsexual drag queens, because everything outside of that is you know patriarchal, normative, cisgendered, heteronormativity, fucking evil white man stuff. So now one could say the comic book industry, I've never heard any of the comic book people say this, that the comic book industry is dying and the only people that it can afford are minimum wage dumbasses. Now, I guess um, these movies, or like the movies, I don't know how it's working, to be honest with you. Are the movies injecting money into the comic book industry? At least in part. I'm sure all of these people writing comics are just hoping that their comic is going to be turned into a multi-trillion-dollar movie franchise. But in the meantime, they're just going to make sure that, Wolverine is comes out as a homosexual. I don't know. So maybe it's this low art thing, this dying art form. Hey, paper equals dead. If your business revolves around paper, PAPER, I don't know what you're doing really. And to be honest with you, I wanted to talk about. I have ideas. Okay, let me just express them. They need to make comic books into apps for phones, and I know how to. Well, I have the idea of how it could be done, but they literally everybody, and hey, Comicsgate person out there, if you're listening, hi. I'm glad you're pointing out the kooky looky wookie dookie, um, blue-haired retards that are destroying the comic book industry. It's happening all over in the entertainment, and that's what I'm going through right here, right now. But I have an idea. Now, I don't know how to make apps, but I have an idea for an app. An app, APP, that's what they call software for telephones these days. Software for smart telephones, right? Miniature computers with the big, with the screens on them. A telephone equals a computer, and I have an idea for software, which they like to call app, that could really help out the comic book industry. So if you've got a bunch of money lying around for a developer, I've got an idea, which I'll just give it to you. Um, just just contact me, and their comic books need to be converted into apps. Now what you're saying to me is, but Gary, there's already an electronic version of all the comic books, and you can look at those on your phone. And like in PDF form or something like that, just the whole comic book, page turners. You're looking, okay. No, what I'm talking about is a trillion times better than that. But okay, whatever. We need to turn comic books into apps. and like the software behind the process is going to be pretty fucking cool, and then it could be licensed out, or just maybe it's open source and anybody can do it, and it breathes new life into comic books. But there is an app, an app, software for telephony things, that could really be super mega amazing. And I don't think it would be all that hard. And to be honest with you, if I'm thinking about it, if you had a little cashola in your pocket, I could probably muster something up myself. And I'm not joking. I say that I don't know how to make apps, but, honestly, when it comes time to computer, I know how to do anything. But anyway, first of all, we got to talk. And you got to decide whether or not you think it's a good idea. So EVS or Yellow Flash or just somebody, Tugs, somebody in Comicsgate, give me a call. And by the way, the other side, the super mega Christian side, they can call me too. I don't care. I don't play games. I think you're both right. Let me address this for a second. Comicsgate split because the fundamentalist Christian types wanted to not cater to the homos, to the butt sexers, the poopy peepees. And that caused a rift or a split. The fundamentalist Christian wanted to disassociate themselves from gay, and Comicsgate was more of your center-right position, or your right wing, but not fundamentalist Christian, which technically that's where I am. But I want to tell both sides I want to tell all the people in Comicsgate, you are both, BOTH, both sides of this argument are correct. Both, if you want to voluntarily disassociate yourself from all the homo, everything. We're not catering to homo, no homo this. I don't want to talk to homos. No homo anywhere. I don't want any homo in my life, anywhere, shape. No homo, everywhere. Nothing wrong with that. By the way, I'm gay, and I'm very much anti-SJW and all the rest. No problems. And actually, it's a benefit. It's a goody good, positive, good thing that somebody on the right, some Christians on the right, are drawing a line in the sand and saying, fuck off, you homos. Listen to me carefully, folks. I am gay. I'm a guy that sucks dick. And I appreciate those fundamental comic book, anti-SJ, whatever you want to call it, that are drawing a line in the sand and telling the homos to fuck off. Why am I on their side? Am I just internalized homophobia? No. It's because I also think the same way. If homos were doing homo correctly, I might have a problem with them. But they're not doing homo correctly. Homo here, homo there, homo everywhere. Kid homo, adult homo, stupid homo, gross homo. Homos have screwed themselves. Like, they are doing homo incorrectly. You don't get to force yourself on everybody. Leave the fucking kids alone. I mean, there's a whole list. What, this fucking no gender? Nobody has a gender anymore. It's just like, oh, sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't. And it's for fucking pervasive and everywhere. So I understand the main, the EVS position where we don't want to go too far. Yes, the homo is getting out of control, and we call it out. We have no problem calling out the homo, but drawing that line in the sand is a step too far. Technically, that is correct. But to counterbalance the other direction, where everything is a homo, every kid is a homo, and the fucking pronoun fucking brigade and all that shit, right? Well, that is being counterbalanced by the far, like the evangelical Christians. I love the Christians. They're doing God's work. They're making the babies. They're paying the taxes. They're being goody good people. They're doing some charity now. Yeah, sometimes they go astray, but then their Christian buddy smacks them upside the head, and then they come back or something, right? Both sides are correct. There's no reason to split. You Comicsgate people need to call me and I will be in the middle, and I will be showing both of you how both of these sides are stupid. Well, both sides are correct. Stop fighting. Agree to disagree on strategy, but you're both correct in your thinking. We don't want to say no to the homo because they are customers, and the ones that say, no, we don't want to have anything to do with the homo. And I'm gay. So stop fighting and get together and go to church together and have a nice hug and a cry. Because you are both correct. You're both good people. You are both on the correct track. The reason I say correct is because I don't want to say right. Because that can get confusing. Right wing, left wing, right? You are both goody good all the way from A to Z. Leave each other alone. These evangelicals are not talking about bringing harm to gay people or stealing their money. They're talking about voluntarily disassociating themselves from the homo. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And quite frankly, some more homos need to hear that. Because the homo agenda has gone gay. Has gone stupid gay. And gay meaning bad. And they need to be kicked to the curb a little bit. Maybe a lot of it. So that it does end up resting in the middle. Where, gay and straight can coexist without fucking each other getting on each other's fucking nerves. Right? But in the meantime, gay is going way overboard. Way the fucking overboard. The whole alphabet community. I ain't got no time. I am anti-gay. I'm gay, and I am anti-gay. I'm serious. The gay agenda, the alphabet community, the fucking whatever the fuck's going on, has gone way fucking down Stupidville and is dumb. And I ain't got no time for it. So technically, I guess you could say I'm closer to the evangelicals. But technically I'm not, because I do think that we can just, agree to disagree and go our separate ways and live in peace. We don't need to be around. But I don't need to be forcing myself on them, just like they don't need to be forcing themselves on me. Just everybody stop forcing. And gay is broken. Gay is a negative thing, no matter how you cut it. The fact that the world thinks of gay as good is an incorrect statement. From a scientific, from a religious, from all perspectives. From an atheist perspective and a believer perspective. Gay equals bad, no matter how you cut it. But just bad doesn't mean that you have to fucking, cut it out and kill it. Blind is also bad. Short is also bad. Fat is also bad. Doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. But gay is kind of it's worse than say, well, I don't know if it's worse than being fat. Because if you're fat, you're unhealthy and you're going to die, and you're teaching everybody around you to be fat and lazy. You know, so I don't know. Good and bad both, right? Nobody's perfect. Nobody's living this perfect life, but we should at least see it and strive for it and realize that if we are imperfect, we can admit our flaws, like me being gay. Um, so yeah, this breakup that I heard, I don't really follow the Comics Gate all that closely, but I heard that there was a breakup over gay and religion, and there should not have been. You are both correct. Listen to me. I'm going to say this one more time. Comics Gate needs to come back together again because both sides are correct. It's just a slightly different view of a bad situation. Don't let those homos drive you guys apart. Don't let it happen. Because that's a bad thing. Anyway, so I think that's the end of comics. It's just paper is a dying industry, and maybe because it's a dying industry, there ain't much money in it. So that's why it gets all the sort of commie, unwashed masses to want to work there. But then it got kind of biggity big with some movies. The movies have sort of been hit and miss, but they've been good in the past. But you got to remember, in days gone by, you would get one movie every, say, 3 years. Or, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly, but one comic book hit. Like, the first comic book biggity hit, well, I don't know about the Zorros and the Lone Rangers and stuff. Maybe some of that was doing okay in a different era, in a different way, at a different time. Because I remember seeing Zorros and the Lone Rangers all over the place when I was a fucking kid. Zorro, the Lone Ranger. Because you got to remember, my parents actually, I am an old guy, and my parents are even older. And my grandparents didn't fucking even have electricity. You know what I mean? Didn't have a telephone. They actually were riding horses. So their superheroes would have been different. Right? Lone Ranger, Zorro. Sounds about right. A fencing, a silly sword. And Lone Ranger, I don't know what he was. I think it was just a gun. Tonto, I don't know what that was about. But anyway. So, yeah, I don't know exact. And the Tarzan, that was a big one too, right? He was kind of a superhero. Tarzan. Um, I think of those three people as superheroes, but of in a different era. I say what started the modern era was Superman, the movie. Right? Superman kind of, oh shoot. Did you just see me walk? Oh, you did too. In my underwear. Oh well. I'm gonna have to switch. You can go look over there. Maybe that's why I'm doing this. Because I'm an unthinking person. You can look at the best TV show ever made. Little House on the Prairie. Season 1 disc set. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm going to stop doing that. Well, live and learn, right? I'm not going to stop the stream, and I am going to post it. It's just a fat guy in his underwear. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Now, so, yeah. Just, like, the comics industry seems to be dying. Now, I don't know about the book market. Amazon selling books. Are people reading as much as they used to? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to say this again. I don't know. And I don't really know how to find out. Um, book sales by year. Book industry health. U.S. print book volume growth. Doesn't seem to be doing all that great. Print book. But then there's the audiobooks and so on. What the heck is that? How many novels have been published in English? I think everything paper, like your magazines are going to be dead soon. Like, I don't know what's going on with, like, like it's weird that magazine, right? It's going to sit out there and probably preach at you about being good for the environment. But how many of those magazines that they print actually get purchased? Or do they all just go straight into the landfill? Who buys magazines? Even everything. Like my government sends me, bills in the mail. Why don't they just email me? Ebook sales by genre over time. I think it's like, I think paper is, um, what is it? Chapters is the name of the, in, no, Indigo? Indigo books. I don't know. Um, well, that doesn't look good. The comic book industry health. I don't want that. Just the book industry. Are people still buying books? September 2019, physical books still outsell ebooks. It's more women than men. Online bookstores, independent bookstores, mass merchandisers, book clubs, non-traditional bookstores, warehouse clubs. I don't know what a warehouse club is. Oh, and the types: adult fiction, juvenile, kids' books, adult nonfiction. Oh, wow. Okay. Academic and professional, so textbooks. Religion, Bibles and stuff. Scientific, technical, and medical. That's interesting. Um, Major subgenres: young adult, general fiction, romance, espionage, thriller, mystery detective, biography, autobiography, literary classics, probably because there's no copyright on these things, history, cooking, and fantasy. 60-40 split. I'll tell you. Okay, here's the truth. I used to work for Harlequin Romance, and these women that were into reading. Harlequin Romance was the world's largest book series publisher. The world's largest book series, Harlequin Romances. These girls, my mother is one of them, that read these books, they were insane. They would be reading every day, multiple, hours a day. At least my mom, she, every time, if she was eating by herself, like lunch, because my dad was at work, um, she would be reading while she ate every day. Um, I guess it was just during lunch. Maybe at another point during the day, she would be reading as well. But she was watching TV and doing crafts, well, or housework, cooking and cleaning. Um, well, it's always cooking and cleaning first, and then taking care of herself. But yeah, she was reading every day, and it was always romance novels. So I don't like it when people are making fun of the Raylos. I really don't. Yes, a woman's romantic brain is different, and it can kind of sometimes be kooky looky, wookie dookie. But guess what? So is a man's. Think about a man. You know, a man wants, the virgin, um, and to just his dick to be worshipped by super mega hot, you know, fake titted blonde 20-year-olds, right? Um, and but they also want that woman, that super hot, the stripper, really, the porn star, a porn star in the bedroom, but a perfect mother outside of the bedroom, cooking and cleaning and just all the rest of it. That's pretty kooky looky wookie dookie. So when people were going after the Raylos, people in, I guess, my circles, I kept telling them to shut the fuck up. It's just because they don't understand women that they are going on and they won't shut. Let them have their kooky looky wookie dookie. It is. But once you understand where a woman's sexuality comes from and what they're interested in, it's not so kooky looky. It's not. Once you understand, it's just because you're dumb that you don't understand the Raylo thing. And the craziness, yes, some of it is put on. They just decided to attach themselves to, Kylo Ren and Rey. But I'm telling you, the Twilight thing, get out of the fucking girl's way. You get the fuck out of the way of all of the girls and all of the um, old women, who were just as crazy as the little girls for this Twilight thing. It's just because you don't understand a woman's sex. And that's sad. Because we're supposed to be, you know, the knowledgeable ones. We're supposed to be looking at the genderless, tranny, you know, SJW, blue-haired, whatevers, as dumb. But if you just instantly, you hear the Raylo and then you go, wow, those guys are crazy. Those girls are crazy. It just tells me how little you know about women. Yes, it's kooky, looky, wookie, dookie. But so is wanting a porn star in the bedroom, a stripper porn star, cam girl in the bedroom, and a perfect wife on the out, and maybe also a lineup of women out the door, right? That's pretty kooky, looky, wooky, dooky too. But it's anyway. Um, Books 65-35. Money 58. Women spend most of the money in all of everything. They are tasked with spending money in most families. That's why 80% of your stores in the mall are for women. Women print books and ebooks. So young and old. I just want to go from year to year. You know, we should be able to. Um, so people are still being entertained, and I would say that they're being entertained by short little, like social media. YouTube is a big one. Um, Little videos on Facebook, photographs on Instagram, podcasts. Podcasts are huge. Podcasts is massive. Um, but yeah, the SJW form of storytelling and art is disappearing. I mean, the places where they were moving to, Hollywood is dying. Now, I don't know about the books. They're not fucking telling me. Print books of Rose from 15 to 16. Yeah, everybody's using Amazon to sell their books. So it looks like book reading is still it's still a viable form of entertainment, and it's still doing its thing. There is something about um, there's something about a book that you just can't. It's like you're really investing the time. It's like when you watch it, a movie is like 2 hours and then you're done, right? A book is, it's this one big kind of hopefully a good story over a period of a week, maybe two. If you are a normal reader, you're going to probably read every day for a couple of hours. You're not an extremer. Hey, by the way, I've known people. I knew a librarian, and she read a book every day. Sometimes multiple books per day. What? Yeah, I read a couple of books a day, 2 or 3 books a day. What? Um, so don't underestimate that. Don't underestimate the ladies and their fucking reading. Um, and leave the romance alone. Let them have that. You've got your fucking wrestling. I mean, any guy who has anything negative to say about Raylos, and then in the next day they get all excited about wrestling. Yeah, we need to sit down and have a chat about stupid things to be entertained by. Okay? You want to talk about the stupidity of women and their Raylo shit? Well, let's have a chat about the stupidity of men and their wrestling shit. Okay? So shut up. Leave the fucking Raylos alone. Um, Now, and again, it just boils down to ignorance. You just don't understand female sexuality. And I guess as somebody who just sits back and studies these things, um, I can't really expect everybody to go as deep into it as I have, but whatever. What I'm saying is, you making fun of Raylos is coming from a place of ignorance. And yes, they are crazy, and I know, but so is the fucking wrestling fan, or every male fantasy is just as stupid, right? Doesn't mean you shouldn't have those male fantasies. Doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just kooky looky dookie wookie. Get over it. Um, anyway. So that's the comic books industry. Like, see, the magazine style, like, there's something different about a book, I would say. There is something that is going to be enduring about a book, I think. Because I have tried to read a book on a computer, and I really don't like doing it. I can do it for a short period of time, like an article, but I really don't like reading. I want the book in my hand, and I just want that. There's something about the book. And, as, the girls are doing the extra reading, well, that's where their porn comes from. I'm not kidding. Those books get pretty fucking explicit. They're porn. It's porn for women. It's just more romantic than men porn. It takes all of, the story for the man lasts about 30 seconds, and then she's sucking his dick. The story for a woman is longer. Um, Now, so I don't really know what to say about books. I think they're fine, and they're gonna remain, even though yes they are paper. But when I was complaining about paper, I was more or less the sort of disposable kind, like newspapers, right? They're disappearing. Magazines, they're disappearing. Um, so why wouldn't comic books disappear? Of course they're going to disappear. Why wouldn't they? It's just like a magazine, a temporary magazine for kids. Now, I think there's some life being pushed. Like, I don't know. I'm no expert in the comic book industry, but it seems like as magazines go by the way of the dodo, so will um, comic books. Seems reasonable to me, right? Like, you got a like you buy your fashion magazine and you put it on your coffee table, and you look at it, and your friends come over and they look at it, but it's kind of, I don't know, isn't that, I don't know. I just don't think that there's enough people doing that. And again, when I was doing it, I was kind of, I don't know, I was buying into the fashion. The gay people are supposed to be interested in fashion, and even though I wasn't, everybody around me was, but I wasn't. The sexy alluringness of the super hot model doing the super hot things with the super hot people in the super hot friggin' environment with the super hot photographer. I don't know. I'm not buying that anymore. Maybe it's because I'm old and fat, but I just don't care. I don't know. Don't know. But, and then I just don't understand the magazine industry. Like, why would, is there, and see, at the checkout counters, the magazines, I think, are disappearing. It's like gum and chocolate bars now. It's like a convenience store at the checkout counters. It used to be magazines, but now it's all changed up. Um, yeah, I was just trying to think of if I can remember magazines at the checkout counter, and I can't. I think maybe Walmart still has a few, but I'm not sure. I know my grocery store doesn't. They no more magazines at the checkout. It's all just grocery items and little candy bits and stuff. So, um, comic book industry dead. Video game industry it's in terrible shape, right? Like I said, to recap with the video games, it just seems like when the game first comes out, it's broken, and it's oftentimes just shit. So you literally are telling your customers to not buy the video game right away. Wait until it gets fixed and wait until the reviews come out, because otherwise you just wasted your money again. Okay. Um, Stadia? Is this gonna be like another Google Glass? Why the fuck? You know, it's just like a shit show. Why would they even do that? Um, yeah, I don't know about this gaming industry. And then now all the politics are getting squished in there. The fucking, people can't stop complaining about that you don't have enough people of color. There's not enough homos in your video game. And it's just getting fucking annoying. Um, and So it's like you just want to turn it all off and you just pull out the old NES and put in fucking Pac-Man and fucking play Tetris or something, you know, just fuck off. Everybody just fuck off. I don't know. And I don't know what the modern gamer actually is thinking. The old, the young, and the really young. Are they just loving everything? It's just because there's so much selection. If I was to play a video game, I wouldn't play anything modern. I wouldn't. I would play something classic. I don't want to move any further forward. I think Mass Effect was as advanced as I would ever want to get. And like I would say half of the things that you were supposed to do in the video game with all the trickety trick and flippity flops and I'm saying this, you know, all the buttons and stuff. Like okay, think of the Atari controller, a joystick and a button. That's good for me. NES. A D-pad and two buttons. Okay, I can get to that. But after that, no. Super NES with all the extra buttons. No, no, no. A modern day controller. No fucking way in hell. And when you got the keyboard for a video game, that every single button on the keyboard does something different. Fuck that. I ain't got no there's no way I don't want to have anything to do with that level of complexity. If I can have, you know, the WSAD and the mouse and maybe a couple of other buttons, two other buttons, that's it. But if I have to use more than that, then screw it. I won't be able to finish the game, and I would just say no to it. And that's all video games now, so I'm checked out. But, you know, I'm sure I'm a very small minority, and I'm sure there's games that are still super simple. But, like I said, if I decided that I wanted to start playing video games, I would go classic for sure. I would go back into the archives of video games and, you know, play from the very beginning up until, say, maybe 2010. But video games have gotten too complicated, and they're too involved, and they're too big, and they're too complicated, and I don't care. I would want, the video game has to be simple, concise, and, well, good. But simplicity is the key. You can have the game itself be complex, but don't fuck with my hands and my fingers and my clickety-clicks. No, I'm not going to be fucking memorizing all of the fucking keyboard and mouse and this jump, spin, grab, fire, duck, weave, right, left, up, down, reload, ba, ba, ba. No, thank you. No way, no fucking way. You know, if you want to give me an upgrade, okay, I can, but don't make it complicated. Why are you showing me this complicated thing that I can do right now? Because I have no idea which direction I should go. Well, that's the point. You're just supposed to guess. And then if you guess the wrong way, then you can go back and play the video game and advance your character in a different way that suits your playstyle. Yeah, I have no fucking clue what any of that means, and I'm going to tell you to fuck off and shut up. Shut up! Your mouth is moving and it needs to stop doing that. I said simplicity. You know? Oh, look, there's a little health kit. Done. Oh, there's a new gun. How does this one work? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, this is kind of cool. I'll keep this. Oh, no, you know, I'm going to go back to the other one. Oh, here's a puzzle. Jump. Oh, push that button and then shoot at that button and then jump over here and then climb down and then figure out this puzzle. Now I've advanced. Okay. I can do little bits. And okay, so I forgot one game that I played, System Shock 2. I was loving the game. Now I played it like years after it was a big thing. Many years after the fact. But when people I'm a horror person, right? And people were talking about the top horror games of all time, System Shock 2 would make the list. So I play it. And I'm telling you, I loved it. Loved it. But I didn't understand all the mixing of the chemicals and the, you know, it was too complicated. I loved the creepiness, but then I would just get bogged down in the, what, I'm supposed to mix this chemical with this chemical on this and over here and over this, and oh, now I have to go all the way back and grab this chemical, and I can only carry so many chemicals, and then I need this and this. And it was like, I didn't like it. Didn't like it. I don't want that type of complexity in my video game. I don't. I really did. I do like just linear. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all of the video game people out there that are listening to my face move are saying, wow, you are such a fucking idiot. That's the best part of a video game, is the complexity, and you have to figure out, and you have to do. Yes, I like a good puzzle in my game, like a Portal, for example. Portal to me is excellent. It's beautiful. I love that. Oh, there's another game I played. I guess I played more games than I let on. I played Portal. Actually, I think I played Portal 2. No, I played Portal 1 first, and then I played Portal 2 because it was, you know, that. So I played those games. I tried to play Half-Life 2, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I've only played Half-Life the original. Well, I played Half-Life 2, but I didn't like it, so I quit. See, that's, say, of all of these games that I've mentioned, I've not finished most of them. See, like, System Shock 2. Loved it. I love the creepy, and I love the, like, yes, the graphics were crap, but at the time they were great. I love the creepiness and the mystery and this and the kind of, it was a little bit like when I was going through the test, like pull, and then I forget my spirit power. I forget what it was called. But then you had the gun, so you had different ways of doing things. I thought, okay, well, it's kind of complicated, but it's not overly, so I can figure it out. But then once you mix that in with the rest of the game, it was too complicated. There's too many things, too many gearboxes to think about. And then when you were starting to mix chemicals and you had to remember your way around, I get lost really easily. I don't mind getting lost, but when you're sending me on complicated quests and I'm getting lost, I don't mind getting lost in a video game. It's kind of interesting. I'll be honest with you. And by the way, it happens to me all the time. If I was ever to do a Let's Play, I would drive every single video game player mad, insane, with my crazy, terrible skills. I don't mind getting lost, but if I'm getting lost all the time, because I have to go find this chemical and that chemical, and where did I leave this chemical, and where did this piece of the puzzle go, and I'm getting lost all the time, then I just lost interest. Yes, the mystery, that the actual sort of linear story of the game was beautiful. I loved it. The creepy sounds and the creepy story and the showdown and the blood on the walls and all this stuff. I loved it. But it was too complicated, so I gave up. You know, that one, I really, really pushed myself. Beyond the point of not having fun, I kept playing because I was like, oh, these other pieces of this game are so good. I just have to figure this, something out, and then maybe this game will get better. No, but I just got all bogged down into running around trying to find pieces of the puzzle to put them together for a certain thing so that I could get to the next spot. And it just got infuriating. And so I quit. Now, and then I would watch a video of the ending of somebody else who, did get to the end of the game. Now, so video games, there's something wrong with the fucking video game industry. Now, maybe all of these problems with the video game is because there's just so many. It's, to me, hey, it is very much like movies. So let's move over to movies, okay? It's very much like movies. It's a shit show. It's a fucking shit show. And it's not recent. It has nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with, good movie making. How am I going to do this? I guess we can do this. Well, we'll do records in domestic with inflation. So, an old movie, A New Hope, #1. Titanic, E.T. Beautiful movies that you're going to remember these movies for the rest of your life. These movies were so good, they changed you as a person. And then The Force Awakens. Okay, you lived through the hype. But when you go back to watch this movie, is it good? The answer is fucking no. Fuck no, it's not good. It's a shitty movie. Avatar. Okay. It was a spectacular bedazzle of computer-generated effects. And a well-told Dances with Wolves. It was a well-told story. Infiltrating the enemy and then siding with the enemy. Story. And you got bedazzled with the computery blue boys and girls. But did it change your life? Did it make you a better person? Did it change your outlook on life? No. Is it a beautiful movie? No, it's not. The Empire Strikes Back, beautiful movie. Will be a classic. Like there's a class. These are classic movies that will last forever, till the end of time. Avengers Endgame. Now again, this to me is like Avatar. It's all style over substance. Explain to me the time travel in Avengers Endgame. I can't. Yeah, I know you can't. Because it doesn't make any fucking sense. And even when you do try to make sense, they break their own rules in the same fucking movie. So it's just a bunch of gobbledygook bullshit. So all it was sort of a greatest hits of the MCU up until this point. That's what that movie was. And by the way, Infinity War, the one before it, that was a terrible movie. The storyline of the comic was great. Infinity War was a shit show. And I'm not going to go into the reasons. I've gone through it before, recently. But it's a terrible movie. Yes, it's got all the glitz and glamour. But these aren't classic movies. These movies aren't going to stand the test of time. Because they're all shallow. They're all style over substance. There's nothing meaningful. There's nothing beautiful about them. In fact, the stories are garbage. Absolute trash. Shit from A to Z. The characters are inconsistent gobbledygook disasters. The story is an incoherent, massive plot hole. Nothing makes sense. Everybody's a fucking retarded dumbass. And yeah, it equals garbage. These movies equal trash. They don't even, like, they leave you with the high of the fireworks flashing away, banging away in your face for 2 hours, and the fireworks and that experience, the drug stone, all the things that it was doing to your brain, made you leave the theater thinking that it was a fantastic movie, but then 6 months later you were like, actually it wasn't all that great. Because all the drugs have left your system, and all you're left with is this, shitty story that makes no fucking goddamn sense. It's all dumb. Exactly what Martin Scorsese said. These stories are shallow husks of mental retardation. But they were good enough to give you the drug experience, right? To hit your brain, to bang your brain, to release those chemicals in what you consider an entertaining way. And it was a feast for the eyes and the ears, right? But at the end, it's the story that is going to continue on, or not. And they're fucking shit shows. Infinity War, I will bring it up a little bit. It's a fucking hippie tree hugger, fucking commie propaganda filth. Zero population growth, porn. Porn for the zero population growth, fucking commie retards. It's a nod to them. And outside of a nod to them, it's stupid as motherfuck. Because if you have any brain left in your head, you realize that snapping half of the smartest person, the smartest villain in the universe, or at least one of them, he's supposed to be super smart, right? This Thanos guy, snapping half of the life out of that. It from every single direction you look at that, it's fucking stupid. So basically, is what you're saying is you're biggity bad guy that is fucking decimating all of your superheroes is a fucking stupid idiot retard. So even at the end of all that,
once you learn the science of, or you think through with your critical brain, the concept of snapping half of the life of the universe out of existence, and you realize how dumb that is. And if this, why is a super smart person doing something so dumb? It's because the movie is fucking stupid. The movie is a fuck. Everybody who was involved in this movie is a fucking zero IQ, fucking, shit dick, blue haired retard. And the studios don't care as long as it makes the money. And like I said, it hit all the notes to hit your brain, to release those chemicals. So you left the theater and you told all your buddies to go see it, and they all did. And then they did the same thing, and then they did the same thing. And then 6 months later, you were like, it wasn't that great of a movie. But then you can say, and it's fair enough, I had a good time watching the movie. Fine. Don't tell me it was a good movie. Tell me that you had a good time watching the movie. And then shut up. Tell me you had a good time watching the movie, but it was bad. It's kind of like fucking a crack whore. Yeah, she can bend and twist and turn all sorts of. Yeah, during that fucking, squishing out the juice inside of her hoo hoo, right? It was fun, but yeah, down the road you gotta, go to the doctor and get all the STDs cleaned up, and you're like, you can't really look at your kids in the face anymore, and all the rest of it, right? It's shallow, it's soulless, it's empty, it's vacuous. It doesn't mean anything. Or what it does mean is actually negative. It means that you put your primal urges above, I don't know, philosophy and beauty and story and life and love. You put ugliness in front of that. And that's what Avengers Endgame is. And it's not even number one, by the way. But I think there's other movies that are on top of this. Um, this website doesn't go back far enough. I think instead of doing improvements, what it should do is spend its time just bringing in old information. Now that Box Office Mojo went paywall, this website should actually just try to bring in some of that old information. Really beef up the classic movie data. Like, for example, above here is Gone with the Wind. Okay, Return of the Jedi. This is the beginning of the down spiral, but let's be honest, it's still a great movie. Jurassic Park. Okay, I'm gonna give this one a beautiful movie, and it's a very well made, lasting, beautiful thing, and it's true. 93. This is in the 90s when the turnaround started to happen. The Lion King, the original, beautiful movie. Now some say it's just a stolen Japanese film. It's a copy of a Japanese something. I think it's Japanese. It's literally kind of a super mega copy of it, and that it's kind of a copy of Hamlet or something. I'm not quite sure, but it doesn't matter. And by the way, I haven't seen it. I'm just taking everybody's word for it that this is a beautiful movie, and it's awesome, super mega awesome. And the remake is by far inferior. See, remember when I say that Disney threw its A-list everything at 2019? I'm not joking. The Lion King, Star Wars, both there, right? Phantom Menace. Okay, we all know about the prequels, and again, 90s coming into the 2000s, the shit show is in full swing. The decline of Hollywood is in full swing. Really? Okay, so I'm just going to pick apart this one. Really? What is it? Half of your movie is about a fucking pod race? When they got stranded on this um, uh, planet, right? I'm gonna have to go make a coffee soon. When they got stranded on this planet, you're kidding me, right? Qui-Gon, I think is his name, went up to the the guy who the alien that was flying around like a butterfly or something, a mosquito with a broken needle, uh, Gonzo nose. Um, when that fluttery beast was flying around and he was trying to do the Jedi mind trick on the flyy beast, Jedi mind trick on that guy, and the guy was like, "What do you think? You're some sort of a Jedi? You think you're doing some sort of Jedi mind trick on me? It doesn't work on me. Ha ha ha! I like money too much. Ha 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 ha!" And then there was, oh goodness, I guess we're stuck on this planet. Saving the galaxy is gonna have to wait until we, do this whole pod race thing, and we'll create a funny kooky looky wooky dooky scheme to get the money to actually legitimately get this part, right? The whole universe is or galaxy is at stake. First of all, would be killing him be okay for a Jedi? You kill one, okay, so let's just say no, you're not allowed to do that. Okay, I can buy that. That would be the path to the dark side. But what about you go down the street, right? You say, oh, sorry, wrong phone number. You go down the street, and then you do a Jedi mind trick on somebody else, and you steal their money, right? Don't worry, you write down his name and phone number. Write down his name and phone number, put it in your pocket. You steal his money, and then you come back to fly Gonzo Nose Mosquito guy and say, "Here's your money. Can I have the part?" Right? I mean, that's what a sensible person in that spot would do. People with brains would do that, but no, we're gonna be stranded here on this planet, and we're gonna have to go through all this bullshit and this pod race side quest bullshit in order to you know, fucking just meet Anakin. It's a stupid, dumbass excuse. And then, like I said, the midi-chlorian, and then you added midi-chlorians, Jar Jar, which, by the way, I liked him more than you did. I don't like him, and I don't love him, but I don't hate him as much as you did. He was well overhated. It became popular to overhate that thing, and you were wrong. You overhated him. He's not good, but he's not as bad as you said. Okay? You were wrong. Yes, I am correct. I am correct about everything. Unless I'm incorrect. And then I'm incorrect. Anyway. So, yeah. Yeah, like it's like the whole, pod race planet side quest thing was completely unnecessary, and it was only there so that the movie could happen. And oh my god, that's in the Star Wars movie. Really? We're doing that in the Star Wars movie? It's just really stupid shit just so that the movie can happen. And then you're going to change the Force, by the way, was religion. But when um, Hollywood decided that they don't need to pretend to be Christians anymore, that they're just going to be full out atheists. Remember, if you go back in time, they were getting on stage and thanking God. Nobody has accepted an award and thanked God in a decade or so. So they've kicked God to the curb, and they don't have to pretend anymore. Maybe they were just acting at the time too. It's just we always thank God because Christians we want the Christian money too, but now we don't even we don't care. Now we just don't care. So in the original Star Wars, the Force was definitely a religion, absolutely guaranteed a religion. That you could kind of manifest in real life. Um, and dark side, light side, good, evil, God, Satan, the whole thing. And then now it's atheism. Oh, it's in the blood. You see, so it was all in the blood, right? In the blood, in the blood, in the blood. Midi-chlorians, whatever. But then Disney, Disney's recent shit show of movies, now it's nothing. Now it's postmodernism. So it went from Christianity to atheism, now to a political philosophy called postmodernism. Now the Force is whatever we want it to be whenever we want it to be it. It's just whatever we want. If we want superpowers over here in this scene, then we'll make superpowers over here in this scene. If we want this person to have super mega powers, then we'll just give it to them. It's whatever we say it is. Kind of like postmodernism. There's no blacks and whites. It's just all just this gray blah bitty blah of nothing. And that's why the Force doesn't make any sense anymore. Like I said, it was religion with maybe a couple of little twists, but it was manifesting religion. Even the Force ghost. A ghost is a spirit, from beyond the grave. This is like ascending to heaven and stuff, right? And then George himself, by the way, he's a Hollywood. He's one of these Hollywood scumbags too. He converted it to atheism with "It's in the Blood" with the midi-chlorians, and then it in Disney Star Wars, it's like it's whatever. It's just this gray biggity blob, like like we paint everything like just this big amorphous blob of nothing that means nothing, and nothing is nothing, and it's all gray and it's meaningless, and it's just a big blob, a blob of nothing, with a blue-haired wig on top of it. Okay, Forrest Gump. Now, some people say that this is actually an evil movie. It's about a man who just floats through life and just goes from one thing to another. So it's kind of life happens to Forrest Gump rather than Forrest Gump happens to life. It's like literally, I guess they would say Forrest Gump literally trips and then he's in this biggity big thing. Trips and then a biggity big thing. He keeps falling down these holes, which at the end of the bottom of that hole is a biggity big life event. Biggity big, but he just keeps tripping. There's no intention. And I guess you could say that life just happens to you, which is kind of a bad way of looking at life. And I see where they're coming from. I do see where they're coming from. But let's be honest. He was a simpleton. And it's just... It was really heartwarming, and the messages in the movie were quite good. Like don't be a slut, marry, be a good person. Um, Love wins out over hate. And yes, he just kept tripping and falling, but he didn't just do that. Like he decided to start running across America, right? I really like the story. This to me gets a check mark, and it is one of those beautiful movies. I understand people's um, problem with it because it does send a message of just, well, if something is going to happen in your life, then it's just going to appear in front of you. And that's not the correct message. But like I said, he was a simpleton. And he, You could see that. Do you remember that Chicago kidnapping, that white autistic kid who got kidnapped by those black um, kids, and they tortured and they even scalped him a little bit? Um, you can see a simpleton kind of wandering around life and falling into situations. Um, you can see, I can see it, you know, and there's an honesty to that too. It's not just, well, you just have to sit around and wait for life to happen to you. So anyway, I understand the criticism, but I'm not buying it. And again, I guess you would say that it's high end propaganda, but I'm not buying it. Not this time. Raiders of the Lost Ark, beautiful movie. And it looks like that one is already fucked up too. This one is already dead in the water. The Raiders of the Lost Ark Part 5, it's not like Part 4 was shit. I don't even think I like Part 3. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know which ones I've seen. I know that it's not really 100% a me thing, but I really enjoyed the first one. I bet you if I watched it again, a lot of it would be like, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that. And it's good. Hey, it's good. The Avengers. Okay. So this is right after Disney bought Marvel, they decided to do the Avengers. All of the things that were created in all of these different places got put together under the Disney Marvel umbrella, and the first thing they did was the Avengers. And it was fantastic. I really liked it. Now, what is the meaning of this movie? Nothing. But here's the thing. It wasn't bad. I don't think it was a bad movie. I think it was just another one of those roller coaster, see it and forget it. But it's a little bit better than that. There was inconsistencies, which it's not gonna live on forever. It's the first time I saw the Avengers put together, and it was cool. But I mean, the novelty is worn off for me. I'm over it. I'm fucking over all of it. You can put all the fucking superheroes in a movie, and I wouldn't care. Because I'm just over it. Because I know it's just going to be another shitty. Like, one of the biggest problems with the original Avengers movie, this one, is the Hulk. You know, at the beginning of the movie, they're painting him out like if he loses control, we're all going to die. And everybody's worried about that. And that is a thing. But then by the end of the movie, he's like taking orders from Captain America. He's like literally part of the team, and he's listening to people and doing what he's told. So that is two different characters in the same movie. Now, that's just the one thing that I pointed out. I don't care enough about this movie to look into the rest of the inconsistencies. But that one was a big one for me, a really big one. The first half of the movie, oh my god, I hope Bruce Banner doesn't turn into the Hulk, because then he's going to go crazy and kill everyone. And in the second half, or the third act of the movie, he's like taking orders. He's part of a team. Which is it? Is he an uncontrollable rage monster, or is he an obedient team member? Like, what the fuck? I don't get it. It's whatever we need him for at that time. Sometimes he listens to us, and sometimes he goes crazy and wants to kill us. Jurassic World, I'm out with the Jurassic Park movies. I'm so fucking goddamn out. I'm outer than out. What the fuck is this? They're not even dinosaurs anymore. They're riding beside their trainer. They're running beside their trainer on a motorcycle. You know, like, this reminds me of those people that have those exotic animals for pets, and then their pet actually acts like that exotic animal. Like they have the pet for like a month or a week or something, sometimes even only a couple of days, and they don't know how to, whatever. But then, the lion actually acts like a lion and puts your life in danger, and then they just like, oh, no, you got to kill it or something. But it's money, right? They just had a whole whack of money, and they bought a fucking tiger, and then because they weren't doing things correctly, the tiger actually acted like a tiger, and either it hurt somebody or it just was about to, and then they're like, oh fuck this thing. You can't control that, and if you think you can, you're an idiot. Now you say the lions in the circuses and all this kind of stuff. That is some extreme motherfucking shit. Extreme to the extreme. And it's very abusive to the animals. Sure, it's kind of cool to look at. I'm not one of those PETA people that are going to tell you that you can't do it because you're abusing the animals. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to go see it. I'm not going to go see your killer whale show either. Because I think putting a whale in a swimming pool is abuse as well. So I'm not gonna protest it or anything. And I guess I've got a mouth and I'll use it. I will tell people to not go see, your shit. But I'm not gonna look down at anybody that does either. See, that's another thing. I'm not going to think that the person who took his family to go to Marine World to see the killer whale show and the dolphins and the seals is a bad person. Fucking relax. Relax. Just chill out. Fucking chill out. Okay? Do what I say. Chill the fuck out. Leave people alone. Leave them alone. Are they actually hurting anyone? Are they in the midst of causing physical violence? The answer is no. Are they stealing anybody's money? Are they stealing people's money? The answer is no. Then leave them the fuck alone. It's a difference of opinion. And there's arguments to be made on both sides. And actually, I would probably, I would argue in favor of the parks and the zoos and the circuses. I would hope that they're humane as they could be. And the trophy hunting, by the way, same thing. I would argue in favor of those things. Just like the one thing Joaquin Phoenix, these animal people don't bring up, they don't mention, is you do realize that the cow was created in a laboratory for one purpose, is to be full of meat so that people can eat it. And if we all stopped eating meat, all the cows we would have no reason for them. There's no purpose for them to, okay, maybe in a museum somewhere, on a farm, in a zoo, you're going to have some cow. Well, are you going to, by the way, I don't know, PETA, are they okay with the zoos? What I'm saying is these cows get to experience life, as terrible as it may be. They get to experience life because we eat them. If we don't eat them, they won't even exist. They will never be born in the first place. Same with your chicken and same with your pig. These things exist so that we eat them. That's why we made them. We made them to eat them. They don't even get to experience life. Now, I do agree, and I do want to see happier animals that we eat. But everything comes at a price. Everything comes at a price. And I for one am a cheap motherfucker. I really like not spending too much money. That's me. I'm a dickhead that way. So, I like the lower price chicken. Maybe the guys who are nicer to their chickens charge more. You know, more space in the factory floor. Nicer, better medicines and all the rest. But here I'm the asshole, and I only buy from the cheap guy that is mean to his chickens. So I'm the good example of my dollar is telling them what to make and what not to make. I just want the cheapest thing possible, and that means not spending a whole lot of time and money and effort in being nice to the chickens. So I'm a dickhead too. But yeah, there's so many angles to look at something, and the do-gooders, the people that think that they're just God's gift to mankind, or the animals or the plants or whatever the fuck, they usually don't look at it from all the different angles. And what the one major one is, we have to eat meat. We have to eat them. We evolved, and because we ate them, we evolved to become top of the food chain. Just like a lot of the animals, half of the animals on the planet need to eat meat. Half of them. Your little buggity bugs and your birds and your all sorts, right? Eating meat is just like a very common thing that we do over here in on planet Earth. Half of us do it. Half of the life on this planet just eats up the other half. And then the other half eats the plants. And the plants eat the friggin' dirt and the sunshine and the oxygen. Right? It's just the way it goes. Everything needs fuel until we figure out a way to not need fuel anymore. Everything that moves or that goes, everything that's alive needs fuel of some sort. Water, sunshine, oxygen. And oftentimes that other thing that needs fuel is our fuel, can become our fuel. It's the way things are. Maybe you just want to turn the whole planet into one big robot. Well, but then who powers the robot? Okay, do you get it? Everything needs fuel, including people. And sometimes that fuel is other things that need fuel, which are animals. But this Jurassic World movie, it's just such a fucking shit show. I mean, like, we're not talking about, it's no longer dinosaurs, and the whole movie is dumb. I mean, after the Jurassic, and the weird thing is Jurassic Park actually happened in this universe. I think all three movies, I'm not sure. No. But you saw the wreckage of the Jurassic Park. So after all that shit that happened, they still decide to go ahead with the park anyway? Yeah, that's not going to happen. And by the way, if all of the other movies happened, what happened to all the flying dinosaurs? I mean, it's like a Halloween, like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. We're now in the level of absurdity and stupidity, but fucking makes the money. People don't care. But I mean, it's fucking dumb. Like, I really bought the first one. I enjoyed it, and it made sense. It was a stretch, and it wasn't perfect, but it was damn near, and it was awesome, and it was cool. And guess what? They were still dinosaurs. Now, were they? Yeah, they were just mindless, meat-eating, or plant-eating dinosaurs. But now they're fucking hybrid, super intelligent, hybrid, order taker, have buddies and friends. Oh, it's so dumb. They pick sides. Really? they're picking sides. You know, at the end of I think Jurassic World, the whale dinosaur ate the big bad dinosaur, and then it was the T Rex that was left, and the people were um, uh, standing in front of the T Rex, and the T Rex just left. Now, I will admit, I did chalk that up to he's just too injured. He's too injured. He's too hurt to kind of care about being hungry. So he looked at the people who are, I guess, kind of his friends. They ended up on the same team, and then he walked away. But I mean, you can only do that a little bit, and this whole fucking movie it was just like, oh my god, we're just got mutant. And like I said, the entire premise of the movie was stupid because it's not possible that a park would open after that last park failed so miserably. And now we're just gonna and by the way, the next movie, Fallen Kingdom, oh my lord. Um that movie where the dinosaur was creeping into the girl's bedroom, sneaking up on her, I'm like, oh my god. That's the dumbest thing ever. That's not what dinosaurs do. Can you not? It's a movie about dinosaurs. Can you not be true to dinosaurs? No, you have to fucking mutant them out and turn them all upside down and backwards to fit the scene of the movie. Sometimes they're dinosaurs and sometimes they're not. You know, like it's just that kind of crappy bullshit. I just don't have any time for it anymore. You know, at least Jurassic Park 2 and 3, the dinosaurs in the movies were dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure that um, we didn't get any trick stupidity out of the dinosaurs. When you saw a dinosaur, they were acting like the dinosaur. And I love dinosaurs, but these just look like dinosaurs. They're not dinosaurs, not anymore. They're just like puppets for the movie to have a scary thing in it. Sometimes. Sometimes the dinosaur will be the good guy and come to save the day. Or take orders from their trainer. Kind of like your snake takes orders from you, right? When was the last time you saw somebody, oh, the snake charmer? It's a little different. You know, hypnotizing a snake and making it do silly things with your flute. That you're not telling it what to do. You are putting it in a trance so that it doesn't know what to fucking do. And it acts kind of kooky looky for a little while because of these particular sounds. And maybe there's something else to snake charming or whatever, but I mean literally go fetch. No, that's, you know, like your dog is smarter than your dinosaur. Oh, but we modify them to be even smarter. Oh, I just don't care. I don't care. And then the high heels girl, and then the stupid love story. Um, you know, there's some elements of it that is kind of cool. Like I get sucked into kind of stupid storytelling too. I can enjoy the spectacle. Absolutely. I'm a horror fan. Um, Most of my movies are shit, but I still really enjoy them. My movies are objectively crap. They're just crappy all over the place, and I enjoy them. I'm not telling you that you can't enjoy them, but they don't have any lasting, long impression. They're not classics. They're like, they break themselves in the same movie over and over again, and they do it in a way that makes it, that just kind of makes the story dumb. You know what? You just lose interest. It's like Terminator and Predator and fucking Ghostbusters. It's like, okay, you fucked it up. Okay, it's just over. You don't know how to make Terminator movies anymore. It's a shit show. Stop. We don't care. You're a bunch of fucking retards. And SJWing and putting blue hair on everybody and making everybody gay is not going to bring people back to the Terminator franchise. Let it go. It's over. You don't know how to make good movies anymore. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, we're going through all of these biggity big movies, and they're all crap. So let's talk about The Wizard of Oz, or Rocky Horror Picture Show, or Little Shop of Horrors. Right? These are kooky, looky, wooky, dooky movies. But why are they going to last forever? And Jurassic World was just an action-filled ride on a roller coaster, and then it's over, and then it's fucking over forever. Well, what's the story about Jurassic World? Well, they tried to build the park again. And now the park is open. They build the park and people are going to it. That's the difference between the first one and this one. Well, that's really stupid, right? Of course it's stupid. This is the current state of Hollywood. Our movies don't need to make sense. They don't have to be good. They just have to make money. Oh. But the problem is when your movie is stupid, they have no legs. Now, maybe they have the legs in the 6-month theater run, but it's not going to last. It's not going to be years down the road. People are going to be looking at Avengers, Infinity War, and go, well, see, actually, it's possible that they might look at that one like it's a good movie, because they don't understand the politics behind Thanos, or they don't understand that Thanos was being a complete and utter fucking idiot. But I don't know. Okay. I gotta grab myself something to eat. So I'm gonna end this stream. And unfortunately, I got really long-winded. But television is also dying here. When you take a look at, like, this is literally just week to week, okay? Year to year. Last year to this year. Last year to this year. Look at all these negatives. Now, this one it's an exception, and you can't even count it. You have to delete that one from your head. That's this one. That was an accident. And I'm not joking. Because this, it got a really high boost. Because it was right after the Super Bowl. It was right after the Super Bowl, so it got a super big boost. So the average is way higher than it should be. But look at all these negative numbers. Look at all these negative numbers, down 5%, 10%, 20%. There's 28%, 23%. Now, there is a couple that are up, but it certainly doesn't add up. This is just in 1 year, folks. Minus 23%, 11%, 24%. And look at all those negative red numbers. Down, and that's just from last year. This is just from the year-to-year change. Now, you can say that, well, it's broadcast on TV, it's going down, but maybe behind the scenes in the streaming services, it's going up. I don't care. Traditional television is dying. This is year-to-year change. And it's so massively... I did this, by the way, and it averaged out to about 20%. A 20% drop in viewers. 20% drop. And once again, I'm going to say that this I positive number is an accident. It was just a fluke. Like I said, it was right after this series premiere, season premiere, happened right after the Super Bowl, so obviously it gets a really big, super big boost. But now it's going to drop, and it's going to continue. It was #1 last week, but because the viewership is settling into what it should be, which is down like everything else. Now there's a couple of odd exceptions here or there, but not much. What you see here is a sea of red and down. A sea of red and down drastically. And these are averages. These are averages. It's not like just a bad week or, this is the average viewership of the entire, so it's the entire season, and this is the average viewership. And then it's that average viewership is down 6%. Forget about that one. Down 1, down 1, down 10, down 11, down 20. Down 30. Where's the highest one? I guess there's a 40%. Empire. Oh, there you go. Jesse Smollett killed that one real quick. We got this one. Making It. See, it's just down. And it's all across the board. You can say, well, this is just your major networks. Yeah, the biggest, the tippity top of everything it goes to the major networks. Once in a while, you have an exception, like The Walking Dead, or like the other channels. Oftentimes have one hit. Even the CW had one hit, Supernatural, but it's been downhill ever since. They started out with a big bang, and now it's all downhill. Television is in the toilet. Just like movies, just like comic books. It's like but video games is a shit show. The industry is getting bigger. People are doing it, and the industry is fine. Okay, by the way, this Hollywood stuff, it's just going under a massive, massive, massive transformation. It's not going to go away completely. Everybody's going to have to take a big pay cut. The streaming wars are going to keep it alive for a little while because people are going to be overspending and going in debt and borrowing money in order to keep Hollywood moving. But eventually, there's going to be casualties. The movie theaters are going to start to close and so on. And how much of movies rely on TV? A lot. All of the trailers that you see while you're watching Duncanville, whatever the fuck that is on Fox. Only 1 point. See, these numbers are so incredibly small. You want to see how incredibly small these are? Let's just even go to the top. These are averages. You want to see how bad it really is? So in the 50s, 61 million. Let's just go with the top 10. 39, say 40 million. This is 42. The top 10, the number 10 here, 8 million versus 40, 42. 5 times smaller. Look at how big these numbers are. 67, 58, 30s, 40s. That's 40 million people. Now you could say that, well, there's the viewership is spread out over multiple channels now. When I added all of this up and I compared it to 5 years ago, and I added up all the TV watching from 5 years ago, it was down 20%. So even when you add all of this up, add up all the viewers, the number of viewers is down 20%. Viewers down 20%. I've done the math. I take these numbers and I move them all around. And the broadcast television, traditional television viewership is in the toilet. Well, when was the last time you watched TV? I've never really watched TV, but except for when I was a kid. Kids aren't watching TV now. They don't care. They're playing video games. Maybe they'll watch a Netflix. Maybe they're, but it's mostly video games. They don't care. So, comic books, video games are turning into casinos, but there's still so much of it out there that, like I said, if I wanted to get into it, and by the way, the same thing goes for TV and movies. As they create shit on shit on shit on shit on shit, people are just like, fuck the new stuff. I don't need to watch Chicago PD. I'll go back and watch Hill Street Blues or Cagney and Lacey. Or I'll skip the fucking stupid movie of Charlie's Angels. I'll go watch the TV show. And then while I'm at it, I'll throw on Miami Vice. Or maybe I Love Lucy. Go back even further. Or go back even further and The Little Rascals. Or Laurel and Hardy. Or The Three Stooges. Or The Addams Family. Or The Munsters. You can go backwards in time. Back to a time when they weren't fucking, trying to make everybody fucking gay. So you don't need this shit. See, that's the thing with a video game. Unless they shove it in your face, usually, like for example, the Mass Effect thing, you could choose to be gay or you could choose to be straight. But they don't really like that. The SJWs don't really like that because just not enough people are choosing to be gay, so we have to force it on them. Because we need gay, to be shoved in everybody's face all the time. Once again, I am gay, and I am completely anti-far left. I'm anti-leftist everything. Technically, I'm a libertarian, and I'm also anti-right. But the right wing at least have common sense in nearly most areas. I want them to be limited government people, and most of them, hey, a lot of them are. The left just doesn't even know how to think. They're just like, I'm stunning and brave, and you need to be stunning and brave, or else I'm going to cancel you. Okay, shut up. So television is dying, and movies. I didn't show the, and this is like old-fashioned TV, but let's scroll down. Let's get to some. So here are the 90s. 25 million for the Cosby Show, right? Cosby Show again, 23 million. Nothing. They don't get to fucking. The last big numbers I saw with television was Game of Thrones and The Big Bang Theory. They would, they would get 10 to say 15 million. But those are both gone now. That was it. I'm not joking. Those were the last big television shows, and I don't think it's ever going to come back. Game of Thrones and Big Bang Theory were the end of big television. Like, these numbers have nothing. Like, I'll show you the Big Bang Theory. Where is Big Bang? Oh, Big Brother, Big Bang Theory. Okay, so season 5, and then their final season, season 12. That is okay. So season 5, 2011, 2012. Oh, we're going to get crazy numbers here. 4.4 million young people and 13.7 million. The season average was 14.88. 14. See, 15, 15, 15, 15. See, 15 million. I told you. 15 million. Look the same. Is that possible? Is this a typo? Anyway, 18 million for the final episodes. Television is just, I don't even know. Like, what are people? Let's just look at the most recent daily. So Tuesday. So on last Tuesday, let's just go. I like to go by total viewers. I don't care. Like, just because you're young or old, I get it. When you're between 18 and 49, you buy more stuff than if you're under 18 or over 49. You tend to be kind of cheap and frugal. You're done wasting your money on frivolous stuff. So you're harder to extract money from. But anyway, total viewers. See? So last Tuesday, the number one thing was The Resident. And then it was the elections, which only brought in, what, 2.5, 2.75 million. Empire, a new episode of Empire, down to 2.4 million. I mean, the 2 point. Let's take a look at the beginning of television, or let's just say in the height. 1970 is when television really, everybody had a TV by then. 1970. Let's just say 75. 75, so it's All in the Family. 30 million people were watching that. Same as the year before. Laverne and Shirley, Maude, Bionic Woman. Have you ever seen these shows? I've never seen this one. I've never heard of it. Phyllis. Oh, wait, I have heard of it. Yeah, I've seen her around. Sanford and Son. Hey, see, look at all the diversity. Hey, a girl show with girl leadings. This was all about the SJW life of the 70s, trying to turn everybody into a fucking SJW. But it did it with class, and it was fun. Rich Man, Poor Man, never heard of it. But then we have girls. Girls at the top. And remember MASH? MASH was a wonderful show. $6 Million Man, black people. Oh my goodness. Another girl show. Movie night. Happy Days. There's just, the Waltons, I love that. Oh, there's MASH. Starting to come down in the ratings a bit. Good heavens. Welcome Back, Cotter. More black people and another girl. Oh no. See, there's nothing stunning and brave about any of it. Jeffersons love that. Moving on up to the side. To a deluxe apartment in the sky. We're moving on up. Good times. Sonny and Cher. When Sonny before his skiing accident, Bob Newhart, Donnie and Marie, The Streets of San Francisco, Carol Burnett Show. God, that was funny. Carol Burnett Show. Fantastic. But see, it was all just entertainment, television. These were people that wanted to entertain, and they got millions of viewers. Now, yes, there was fewer channels, so people were congregating over these channels rather than all of, but that's what needs to happen. Now, you could say that but you've diversified so much that you have to create so many shows, and there's only so many actors and writers and directors to go around. So it's all shit. What is the top shows of now? Which, by the way, I won't even know. I won't even fucking know. So, 1819. Football. You fucking kidding me? It's a sport. No more TV shows. Sports has taken over. That's all. I'm telling you, by the way, that the reason why television exists is sports. I'm not joking. Hollywood and their storytelling and their actors and all that shit, they've just gone down the fucking toilet. Big Bang Theory. Okay. NCIS. A cop show. Well, they're as old as the hills. I don't know, is this good or not? Don't know. Football. As Big Bang Theory spin-off. This Is Us. But look, we're already small. There's something weird going on. I thought 60 Minutes was the biggest show. Where is 6? Oh, there it is. Way down here. 6.7. Yeah, actors and Hollywood and writers and directors and all that kind of stuff, they're just getting kicked to the curb. And I was watching MASH when I was a kid growing up. Little House in the Prairie. That little... You see it right there in the corner. There it is. Little House in the Prairie. Best show ever made. But I liked all this other stuff. I fucking love Bill Cosby. Don't fucking call me racist. What the fuck are you talking about? It's the 1970s, 69 and 70. The fucking Bill Cosby Show. Oh, that was a different one. The Cosby Show was a different one. This was, I think, his stand-up comedy. More like a skit. Stand-up comedy skit. Like, more of a late-night program, really. But... So I was born in 71. So what were the big shows in 1971? I was born in November, so we'll go over here. All in the Family. The Flip Wilson Show. I don't even know what that is. Oh, there's a black girl. Uh-oh. I guess you're not as stunning and brave as you thought you were. You know. These people just need to be so stunning and brave and so special little snowflakes. It's like when I hear about the first black something or other, it's like it's all such garbage. There was actually a black woman that had a television show before people had televisions. There was a black female who had her own TV show before people even had TVs. In the 50s, almost nobody had a TV. Only the super rich. And there was a black woman starring in her own TV show. Nobody could afford a TV. Some people probably still didn't even have electricity. That was still getting hooked up. So, don't give me your shit. Like, there's nothing, you are not stunning and brave. Just because you were born in this year, just because you're alive right now, just because you're discovering something for the first time, it doesn't mean it's the first thing. It might be the first black female-led TV show that you've ever seen, but now you just need to, not be a stupid dumbass. But I mean, you are going to government schools. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what Marcus Webley... Now, again, this is the year I was born. I was born in November 1971. So I'm obviously not watching TV yet. But some of these shows would last. Gunsmoke, I remember people talking about. All in the Family, I absolutely watched quite a bit. We all did. Everybody did. Don't know. Heard of it, and I think I've probably seen some. I never liked westerns. My dad, you know, everybody, my dad's age and older loved the westerns, loved them, and it's a thing. Maybe I should try to get to like them. I hated them as a kid. When they came on the TV, I would leave and go play in my room. One TV per household, by the way, and you were lucky if you even had that. And by the way, we had one television my entire childhood. So our TV, it was one of those ones with the whole unit built around it. That TV lasted, what, 20 years? I don't know. Do televisions last 20 years now? I don't know. The movie of the week, yeah, that was a big thing. The movie, Sunday night at the movies, or Disney's did the same thing. They would do a Disney night at the movies, or The Wonderful World of Disney, I think it was called. Sanford and Son. I've seen it. It was a little bit like it went away before I started watching TV. Mannix, I don't know. Adam 12, I heard of it. Mary Tyler Moore, I saw. Here's Lucy. I've seen many Lucille Ball television shows, and I'm not sure which was which. I get them. I Love Lucy and Here's Lucy and Lucille Ball. I get them confused, to be honest. Y50. A little bit too young to enjoy that. Medical Center, don't know. The NBC mystery movie. See, each network had their own movie night, right? Ironside, I don't know what that is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Partridge Family, really like that one. It's kind of a family. Do you know what the Partridge Family is? A singing family in the van. They got a van, and everybody plays a different musical instrument. I wonder if the picture of it. FBI. Oh, that's on TV now. I don't know what this is. I'm sure it's about the new Dick Van Dyke Show. I know Dick Van Dyke is a big deal, but I don't know what this is really. The Wonderful World of Disney. Hey, I just mentioned that. Bonanza. So that was my. I didn't see the show. I obviously was young, and the Little House on the Prairie is when I got involved in Michael Landon. Mod Squad, Rowan and Martin, Laughing. Carol Burnett Show, loved it. The Doris J Show, I don't know. Football, more movies, Sonny and Cher. I wasn't really into the variety shows, but there was a lot of them. Just a variety show. They're sort of like reality contest shows today. The variety show is turned into amateurs doing it, and I don't know why. Just switch it back. Why do we need amateurs out there auditioning? Why don't we just have variety shows again? I don't know. Room 22, get whoever to, like Solid Gold. Remember that? Dionne Warwick coming out with the Solid Gold dancers. Oh, that was hilarious. So 70s and cheesies and disco and Room 222, don't know, and then more movies. But that's the life, eh? Like, I have fond memories of these things. I guess I have some fond memories of friends, but anyway, it doesn't matter because it's all going away. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about these TV shows that are on TV anymore. The number one thing watched was The Resident, and then it was The Election. And then Empire, which is canceled. Jussie Smollett's race hate hoax. Even the actors are getting on board with the race hate hoaxes. And then the CW can't fucking pull their head out of their ass. They can't even. They're lucky to get 1 million, and I mean really lucky. Every time the mailman, yeah, I don't know, how do you guys do your mail people? Because our mail people are always different. Every single time a mailman, sometimes it's a mail woman, it's always fucking different. I wonder why that is. Do they just keep taking turns around the the whole city? It's just like everybody knows everybody else's route. It's like first come first serve or something. I don't know. But what a great way to get exercise. But unfortunately, it's an obsolete thing. It's all just garbage and bills that I should be just getting in my email. It really should be canceled. You know, if I were the Prime Minister of Canada, I would say mail is going away. We have private companies. If you want to send a letter from A to B, from person to person, you can still do that, but you're going to be doing it through these private companies. And we are selling off Canada Post to these private companies. And I'm sorry about your junk mail because it's going to cost you probably too much money, or you're just going to have to hire people to send flyers into people's mailboxes or something. I don't know. But it's got to go away. I mean, there's no need for it. This is before electricity, before the internet, and I get it. You want to be able to distribute things. If the power went out, you still want to be able to, fire up an oven and print out some flyers and then send them to people. Well, we'll still be able to do that. You can still do that. Fire up the oven, and somehow that creates the electricity for your radio station, and then you can send out information that way. There's only one radio station left because only one radio station knows how to, run on the wood burning generator, whatever it is. I'm just being stupid. I'm saying if the electricity went out, you can still have other ways of communicating to the population. It's not the only thing. So I know they just don't want to get rid of it because of that. That's the legitimate reason. The other reasons is just it's big government and they don't like to cut out programs. They don't like to cut out anything. But it's all fucking junk mail. 99% of it is just garbage. I just throw it into the trash. Into the trash. But anyway, so yeah, 2 million. Certainly ain't getting no 25s and 20s and 30s. So, video games are becoming casinos. Movies, nobody wants to go see a movie theater. They might watch it at home. But when the movie theater experience is over for the movie industry, that's a big deal. Television is dying. Physical media is dying. Physical copies of DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff, that's dying. The entertainment industry is dying. Video games are doing okay, but like I said, that I don't understand. I think they're going through some major problems. It's like all of the major studios are all hated, so they all just want to say fuck off. We're gonna fuck it all. We don't know how to do this anymore. Let's just work on mobile games. I don't know. These scumbag CEOs at the top of these game companies, they come out with their long hair and they're all fat and ugly. And they're like, I'm one of you. And then they read a fucking CEO speech. I was like, no, you were one of us, maybe. But now you're just like a fucking CEO robot. What the fuck? Did an alien eat your brain? All the money got to your head? Now you just come out and you just shit out garbage over and over again? And expect everybody to eat your fucking shitty games up? Wait for the fucking patch for it to work? I'm telling you that, like I said, you know, all of these AAA game companies. I don't know what the fuck their problem is. Why can't they do it? Are they not paying their staff enough? Are they paying them too much? Are they too worried about diversity instead of quality? What's going on? But like it's just dominoes, right? Nobody's watching TV. People aren't going to the movies anymore. The video game companies seem to be just pumping out shit after shit and sucking out all the money from your wallet. Video games are turning into casinos. Um, Comic book industry is dying. Books, I guess, are okay. So people are still reading. They're just like, ah, fuck all the rest. I'll just get a book and read it. I found an author that I like. I'll just keep doing that. I don't know. It's weird, folks. It's weird out here, and I don't. The fact that they're all dying all at the same time, you got to wonder: is it a conspiracy? Have they all gotten together and decide, hey, we're all just gonna make our stuff shit now? I don't know, but it's all going away. Anyway, I'm gonna end this here. We'll talk to you later. Um, we'll talk to you later. Bye now.